Don't marry a woman who loves her career. Sexist? Oppressive? What did you say? That other one? Misogynist? Patriarch? I'm not talking to you, the one who knows what those words mean. I'm talking to you, the man who wants peace in his life, who wants a traditional life. And traditional isn't bad. Traditional's good. Traditional. It's peace and happiness. Hold on, I'm carrying a little extra weight here. A woman who loves her career, her professional life, will inevitably have her energy divided between her home, which is the place she can turn into either a paradise or a living hell. A woman has that power to turn an environment into paradise or into hell. Do men have that too? They do too, but honestly, men kind of just react. In a couple, one reacts to the other, but the woman sets the tone of the home. She sets the peace and the joy in the house. So a woman who loves her career will inevitably have her energy divided, because a high-performance career, let's say a professional one, it demands time, it demands energy, and sometimes it requires you to assert yourself and take a stand in a more aggressive way, which, whether you like it or not, ends up taking away a bit of a woman's femininity. Bye. So that's the first point, divided energy. And if you want to be a parent, want to have a family, maybe a big one, want to have kids and want to raise them, want to love and care for them, you need a faithful and loyal partner who has the desire in her heart to have a career, but a career at home. Does that mean not working, not having her own projects, not having hobbies, not making money? No, it doesn't mean any of that. That's just the first point. If you're patient, we'll get to the end. I'm going to read the Bible to you now. Take a look. A wise woman builds her house, but with her own hands, the foolish one tears hers down. Proverbs 14:1. So, young grasshopper, the problem isn't having a woman who works, who has hobbies, who likes to make money. The problem is when she loves her career so much, loves financial growth so much, to the point that she puts her energy into that, her feminine energy, and also a more masculine energy, with more strength, more drive. So there's nothing left for her to direct that energy toward her home, toward her family. That's why the video says, don't marry a woman who loves her career. These women will always exist. They'll exist, especially with the development of these demonic ideologies we have nowadays. The idea that women should be empowered, strong, not need a man, do everything on their own. Yes, I know. If I want to be a gym rat, be rich, be everything, fine, do whatever you want. I'm speaking here as a man to you, who is also a man, possibly Christian or not, but who wants a peaceful life, wants to have a home, wants to come home and know there will be a loving woman, a woman who isn't argumentative or annoying, a woman who submits to your guidance, as long as you're a good man too. We'll get there, but before we continue, let me read another passage from the Bible for you. Proverbs 31 depicts a virtuous, hard-working wife who honors her family and God, an exemplary wife, a happy one. Whoever finds her is worth far more than rubies. Her husband has full confidence in her and lacks nothing of value. She brings him good, not harm, all the days of her life. She selects wool and flax and works with pleasure with her hands. Man, pay attention. There are so many qualities of an amazing woman to marry right here. She works with her hands, only does good, never does harm. Let's keep going. Like merchant ships, she brings her provisions from afar. Before dawn, she gets up, prepares food for everyone at home, and assigns tasks to her servants. She considers a field and buys it. With what she earns, she plants a vineyard. She throws herself into her work with enthusiasm. So the problem isn't working, it's loving that more than loving being a virtuous woman who takes care of herself and her family. Her arms are strong and vigorous. She manages her profitable business well, and her lamp stays lit through the night. In her hand, she holds the distaff, and with her fingers, she grasps the spindle. That one, I honestly have no idea what it means. Those words. Let's get going. She welcomes those in need and reaches out her hands to the poor. She's not afraid of snow for her family, because they're all clothed warmly. She makes coverings for her bed. She dresses in fine linen and purple. Her husband is respected at the city gate, where he takes a seat among the elders of the land. She makes linen garments and sells them, and supplies sashes to the merchants. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She smiles at the future. A joyful woman, a hopeful woman, a woman who has good plans for herself and her family. She speaks with wisdom and teaches with love. She manages the affairs of her household and does not give in to laziness. A lazy woman is terrible. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also praises her, saying, "Many women do noble things, but you surpass them all." Beauty is deceptive, and charm is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord will be praised. May she receive the reward she deserves, and may her works be praised at the city gates. So you see, brother, there's nothing wrong, and I never said there was, nor do I want to say there is, with the woman who works. Look at what this passage from Proverbs says about all the things she does. She is an extremely productive woman. And this is the view that current ideologies and progressivism have distorted about the virtuous woman. They've portrayed women as empowered, as if they necessarily have to do whatever they want and also do men's work. Doing men's jobs, even if she doesn't want to, just to say, I can do whatever I want. When in reality, everyone can do whatever they want, including marrying a quarrelsome and problematic woman and having an unhappy, peaceless life. So it's great to have a woman, or for there to be women, who are productive, who like working with the land, who enjoy planting, harvesting, taking care of animals, taking care of the house, running a business, making crafts by hand. In short, taking care of people, going out, socializing with people, with friends, with family. So the real problem for you, as a man who wants peace, is ending up with a woman who wants to take action. Just like you naturally do, wants to take on the world, face challenges, do business, make money, negotiate, fight. That's naturally the male role, because you don't even have to try. In fact, as a man, you should feel bad. If you're passive, if you don't face the world, don't go after things, don't do business. And the woman, the one who's with you and brings you peace, should understand and respect your role, just like you understand and respect hers. Woman, do you want a career? Do you want to make millions? Do you want to be a CEO? You want to be president? Do you want to be a fighter? Do you want to be whatever you want? You have the right. You have every right. I'm talking to a man who wants to have peace with a woman who takes care of his family and his home, as long as you're also a good man. So man, I'm not at that stage in life yet of having my own family and all that, but I already know, and I can guarantee you right now. And knowing that there's a house, a home, where there's peace, where there's love, joy, care, respect, management, nourishment, femininity. Brother, with that, a man can handle any battle life throws at him out there. He faces whatever he needs to, he'll fight whoever he has to, he'll do it, he'll sell, he'll spend hours working a tough job. It doesn't matter, because his reward is waiting for him. A virtuous woman is a crown to her husband. That's also in Proverbs. Let me see where. Proverbs 12:4. Man, the worst thing in the world. Listen to what I'm telling you. The worst thing in the world is a woman who confronts you and challenges you on everything, all the time. It might seem exciting at first. You might. Some guys say something like, no, but she challenges me. She makes me better because she's always challenging me. That might be cool for a while, but in the long run, I guarantee you that's gonna wear you out because it's exhausting. You have to fight battles outside the house and then come home, which should be a place of peace. And then you have to go into another war, you know? A man is made for war, but not for war all the time. Not 100% of the time. There's a time for all of that. That's also in Proverbs and Ecclesiastes. If I'm not mistaken, you can read it later, you'll see. Time to cry, a time to laugh, a time for war, and a time for peace. So in the same day, you need to have a time for war and a time for peace. So what's your time for peace? It's when you're at home, or at least it should be your time for peace. And your time for war is when you're out on the street, when you're doing business, being an entrepreneur, taking risks, taking hits that you won't let reach your family because you'll handle it yourself many times before your family even knows something happened. You've already bled, already taken the hit, and already solved it. You get it? So a good woman to marry is one who wants to build things together with you, letting you play your role and her playing hers. And then, with each one in their own role, whatever's built belongs to both of you. You understand? So it doesn't matter. Some people have really twisted views about marriage. Like, my wife makes this much a month, I make that much. You're married, you have the highest level of intimacy possible with someone. Sexual intimacy, mental, emotional, psychological, spiritual intimacy. But each one has their own money. So this whole perspective I'm talking about here, focusing on women, also, this applies to good men, to traditional men, to men who want to fulfill their role and want to be the priest of the home, to be leaders, to be strong, to be a point of security, to be the foundation, providers, leaders, and all that. So if your wife, for example, stays home taking care of the family, and you're a guy who makes 50,000 reais a month, it's not you who has 50,000 reais. The family makes 50,000 reais a month. As if you want a woman like that. You should also have the level of understanding and awareness that what she does is just as important as what you do. They're just different roles, because you wouldn't have it. The structure, the emotional stability, the strength, the drive, the determination, the aggressiveness, that fire in your eyes to go out there, to earn your daily bread, to do your business, or to make your thousands or millions of reais, you wouldn't have any of that if you didn't have a woman, like the one you might have or want to have at home. So it's really easy for us to keep demanding. Women have to be like this, have to be like that. Don't marry a woman who's like this or like that, but also be a man who understands what marriage really is. Biblical submission isn't a prison. The biblical submission of women is another thing that's been twisted by if I can even call it our current culture, right? Culture from hell. Culture from hell. It made women feel bad and humiliated for submitting to a man, to a good man, to her man, as long as he's good. But biblical submission is nothing more than aligning missions under leadership, because hierarchy and leadership have existed since the world was created, since all of this began, and they will always exist because it's a divine principle. And that's all it is. It's both of them following the same mission, but with the man providing leadership and direction. Does that mean the woman doesn't have a voice? It doesn't mean that. Does it mean she doesn't have decision-making power? It doesn't mean that. Does it mean she can't say anything? Doesn't mean that she can't many times actually make the decision for the man, and it's up to him to accept and go along with it, because in that situation she has more sensitivity, more understanding, more intuition, more experience than you do. It doesn't mean any of that. It only means that there's a chain of hierarchy, and this is a chain that values the natural characteristics of both men and women. A woman who has to be strong all the time, who has to lead, who has to. Many single mothers, for example, you'll notice they're tired. They're tired. Why? Among other things, of course, because they work a lot and all that. That's fine. But it's also because they constantly have to be strong. They have to face the world all the time. And that's great. Congratulations to these women for their strength, because sometimes they don't have a choice and have to be strong. But the point is, this tires women out much more than it does men, because men are made for this. They're made to face life, to confront, to fight, to seek adventure, to throw themselves out into the world, and women too at times. But she was originally created, made to love, to nurture, to care, to embrace, to build an environment of peace, affection, love, and joy. So, each person has their own role, and sometimes these roles overlap a bit, they change. The woman can make some decisions, the man might take care of the house more at times, but there is a standard rule, and there are exceptions, and biblical female submission is just that. And women, if there are any women watching this video, should only submit to good men. What's another big problem that happens? Many times, women, often Christian women, who want to live a biblical Christian life and believe that the principles of the Bible, if followed, lead to a life with more joy and peace, they want to submit to the man they're with. But for some reason, they chose a bad guy, or the guy became bad along the way. And when a woman submits to a man who has no direction, no strength of character, no principles, values, stability, emotional stability, financial stability, security, and all that, they might think that submitting to a man is wrong, but it's only because they submitted to the wrong man. Because I guarantee you, if you look at traditional couples where the woman submits to a good man who has all those qualities I mentioned, the woman is happy and at peace. And so is the man, because he doesn't have to keep fighting at home. He doesn't have to have a war at home. He does what he needs to do, and he has the support of peace in home. So, to sum up, biblical submission, look, let me just read this here. 1 Corinthians 11:3. Christ is the head of every man, and the man is the head of the woman. So, it's just a matter of organization. It's simply a matter of organizing your life. Woman, submit to your man as long as he is a man of God and also submits to Christ. Because then you will also be submitting to Christ. Now, if you submit to a man who doesn't submit to anyone, or submits to darkness, or is still just a boy, then you're gonna get hurt because you submitted to the wrong guy. So, submit to a man who is also submissive to God, and don't be ashamed. There's nothing wrong with being submissive to someone who has more to offer than we do in a certain area. What's the problem with being submissive to God if God is the creator of everything that exists, our Father? What's the problem with being submissive to your husband if your husband is willing to love you, just as Christ loved the church, giving up his own life for her benefit? Here are two more little excerpts for you from the Proverbs of Solomon, who was the richest man in human history up to now, and also the wisest. He ended badly because of his sins and desires and because of women, but he was the wisest and richest man in the world. I think he understands a thing or two about some things. Proverbs 21:9. It's better to live in a corner of the roof than to share a house with a quarrelsome mother. Proverbs 27:15. A quarrelsome wife is like a constant dripping on a rainy day. So, my brother, women like the ones I described in this video, don't be fooled. They are rare. They're difficult to find. They are like diamonds, especially in this muddy world we live in today. It's literally like finding diamonds in the mud. What? Well, I don't need to explain to you how the world is today. You already know very well, right? But when it comes to rare women, you also need to become a man worthy of them. If you're a bum, if you don't take care of your body, you're overweight, you're sedentary, you can't even pay your bills, you're broke, it's okay to be broke. It's okay to be anything, as long as you already have the vision in your mind and a plan to leave that behind, to leave that reality behind. So you're sedentary, you're not healthy, you don't have money, you don't have a relationship with God, you're not secure, not confident, not strong, and you don't provide anyone around you with any extra sense of security. So what are you doing wishing for a woman like that? Before getting married, I tell anyone who wants to listen, you need to become the kind of person who deserves the person you want in your life. You get it? So man, a woman like that is rare. She's a diamond, so what makes you think you deserve that today? Maybe we never really deserve it, and by grace, God gives it to us. But even if it were by grace, if we don't have the structure to handle that, to deal with a woman like that, if we're immature, if we're inconsistent, if we're weak, if we don't provide, protect, lead, love, care, what makes us think that an encounter with a woman like that will happen nowadays? It won't. And if by chance it does happen, you'll just throw that opportunity away because you're not ready. That's all. If you like this video, like, comment, and share. This is the Masculine Foundation channel. I talk about principles, values, about men's lives, about what I believe men need to improve in today's world, in today's society. I want to contribute to building a stronger, more assertive masculinity, but biblically correct, gentle, and humble, at the same time as Jesus taught us, but also aggressive and strong to face the world, and to care with gentleness and humility for those who are yours, and for those God puts in your path, whether it's family or anyone else who comes under your guidance and care. That's it. If you like this video, share it with someone and comment below what you thought. And this channel is just starting out. It's not monetized. I don't earn anything yet for being here. Of course I want to earn some. We're working, and when we work, we want to see a return from it. But more than money, my real desire here is to fulfill the purpose I have in life, to follow the calling I believe God has for me, even though I don't know exactly what it is yet. I know it involves speaking, communicating, being here, and pushing back a bit against the current culture of the world, which is destructive. It destroys men, women, families. It destroys everything and everyone it touches. That's why I'm here. If you like this, subscribe and stay tuned for the next videos. We're in this together. See ya. Bye.